A very good morning to all of you. Now let us look at Unit 3, that's on data collection. Um, Before jumping on to Unit 3, I would like to refresh you what we have learned till now. So just to go with the sequence and just to go with the steps of research process, we started with the uh, the background of research. What is research? What is a good research? What is a bad research? Followed that with some of the some sampling techniques, and then we followed that with Unit 2, which dealt with what are different kinds of research types. That was then followed by research problems. So after having known all the things that we need to know as a background or as a basic of research, then we jumped on to formation of topic and coming up with objectives. That in nutshell is known as research problem. So again, one more thing, I'm telling you again and again, problem statement is one of the sub divisions or one of the components of research process or research problem, but it's not equivalent to what research problem is all about. A research problem is defining a topic to coming up with hypothesis, to coming up with research assumptions, research questions, and objectives. That's what a research problem is all about. So having the topic at our hand, then having hypothesis or having objectives at our hand. Now let us look at the next process, that's literature review. So though Unit 3 is on data collection, it will be unfair if we skip the part on literature review. Then again, if we skip the part on literature review, it will miss lots of things, lots of connection between the data collection methods and the research problems. So literature review is very important. So let us deal with literature review in this section. So watch this literature review guidelines, how to do literature review very properly. And towards the end of the literature review session, you will have to do an assignment that's worth of about 15% of the total research proposal that you may be doing with. So I'm going to teach you how to do a basic literature review, and if you can master this skill, then you can come up with a very good literature review. So let us begin. So just to let you know where are we if you're getting lost, we are doing with the research process, meaning we are starting with the research topic, we are going with the research problem statement, then we are going with the objectives, then we are then looking at the literature review. After that, we are going to look at how to collect data, the data collection methods. That includes sampling designs, number of sample that you need to collect. Then that's being followed up by how to do data analysis. That you must be looking at in the statistic modules, but I'm also going to touch you very briefly so that you get overall picture of what data analysis is all about, but we'll not be stressing on that one. Then we then end up with how to write a conclusion or how to write a scientific report. So that is what research is all about. So we looked at introduction of research mainly at Unit 1, where we really had to know what is all about research and what are the components of research, what are the sampling methods. Then we followed up in Unit 2, and we looked at what are the types of research that we can do. If you did not know what are the types of research, then it is very difficult for us to move forward with what is research problem. So we have also done our assignment on choosing a topic from a broad topic to a narrow topic, then subsetting the topics from the narrow topic and looking at the objectives. So at last forming a concept on the research that you are going to do. So that's all about what research problem is all about. And we have now a concrete topic in our mind. At least all of us should have a topic in your mind. That has to be now followed up with a literature review to back whatever you are doing your research problems on. For example, whatever research you are doing on any topic, that has to be backed by literature review. So literature review is what we're going to do today. And after that, we're going to look at how to collect data and then data analysis, and we're going to look at the scientific report writing. So that's going to be whole framework of how we're going to look at this module. And we are basically at the literature review part, from the research hypothesis up to research topic is being dealt till now. Now, after literature review, we are going to look at basically materials and methods. That's looking at how to collect the data, and even inclusive of data analysis. Then we are going to look at how to write results and discussion, and follow that with a conclusion. So I really hope that you will get this lecture very clearly, how to write a literature review. So focus with high concentration. So I really hope that you'll have fun learning this one. I'm going to teach you what are the functions of literature review. Firstly, it's very important for us to know the functions and overall theoretical background of what is literature review, and follow that with how to carry out a literature search. Then follow that with after searching some material, how to exactly spot where, how to spot exactly which literature to look at. That's selection of literature. And after that, after selecting lots of small literatures from lots of articles, lots of journals, books, and internet, we're going to look at how to exactly frame the theoretical framework and conceptual framework. So we're again going to look at that one. And lastly, remember that till this point we are not writing anything else, but we're just collecting from here and there. But lastly, we are going to write literature review. So I've come up with a model called as 5-step model. So there you're basically going to try know how to write literature review after going through all this previous steps. So let us now look at the first part, the functions of literature review. So where exactly do we need literature? So literature is very important, a very pivotal part of the research process. Firstly is that one. And even before selecting the research problem, or even before selecting a research topic, we are going to need literature review. So some of you must have gone through internet, some of you must have searched through some journals, some of you must have gone through some books, heard from some seniors, or heard from some supervisors, or heard from some lecturers that the topic that you're choosing is good enough, or the topic that you have chosen is bad enough, or the topic that you have chosen is moderate. So basically at this stage, you're basically doing a basic literature review, meaning you're basically reviewing what is being told by your teachers, what is being told by your friends, what is being told by the internet on your topic. So basic literature review. And also a formal literature review can be also done at the first step, meaning you can come up with a broad idea of your topic. Let's say I want to do on wildlife, so you want to go and search red list, IUCN red list, and look at the wildlife which is having critical endangered status or vulnerable status in the red list. And I was to then choose from those species which are following the crucial state of the red list. And basically I'm going to clarify my idea that, now I think that choosing a species like tiger is actually going to be good for my city. And I'll just basically look at what are the methods that I can apply in order to study the tiger before choosing the topic, to let myself clarify that whatever topic that I'm choosing is quite clear to me, as well as the methods are also very clear to me. So what I mean is, even before choosing the topic, literature review, if done properly and correctly, can enhance the theoretical background and clarify the ideas on which you are going to work. And also it can help you to look at how you can modify your methodology in future. So, but please do not worry, even if you have not done literature review before choosing your topic, that's completely okay. But it's very important that you need to do literature review after choosing your topic. So let's come back to now topic number 2. So the second function of literature review is that even in the process, you can find clarity of the topic that you have chosen. For example, the topic that I've chosen now is lichens, diversity and distribution in Wangdipur district. So I'm basically going to look at how are the studies done in the diversity part of these lichens, how are the studies done in the distribution pattern of the lichens in Wangdipur area, what are the different kinds of studies that are being done in Wangdipur area. Those kind of things I'm going to look at during the process, because I've now chosen already lichens found in this area, and now this is going to basically increase my knowledge base, meaning I do not know anything about lichens right now because I've not done any literature review before choosing this topic. I can still do a literature review and enhance my knowledge base. And also, whatever knowledge is being existing right now in terms of lichens in this area, I can know because of literature review. So basically, what is done in the past, what is presently being done, and what can be done in the future, 3 things can be known if you are doing literature review after you have chosen the topic. And the third one is during the write-up. So we are done with literature review, let's say. We are done with data collection, data analysis. We're even done with report writing or writing of results. Now, when you're done with writing of results, what you need to do is you need to find out whether the results that you have found is either contradicting, or either it's going in parallel with the research that's been done earlier on this topic, or is your finding adding up a new information to the already existing knowledge. So 3 things to look at when you're using literature in your findings. So literature can be used in the results and discussion part by 3 ways. So for example, let's say that I found 3 kinds of lichens in Wangdipur area. My results, first result is 3 kinds of lichen diversity. So I'm going to say that 3 lichens species were found in Wangdipur district. These 3 lichens found in Wangdipur district has also been found in similar places that has similar altitudinal gradient and forest types in other places. So that means it's contradicting. Now non-contradiction can be if I've just found 3 lichens, but the places like Wangdipur area exactly having same altitude and all, looking at the Punakha area, you're not finding any lichens. So it's basically contradicting. Whatever you're finding in Wangdi, it's not finding in Punakha. So the 3 species that you found is either not found in Punakha area, or it's completely different in Punakha area. So you're basically contradicting, and you're going to see that previous studies done by Dorji 2017 found only 2 species in Punakha, whereas my finding was 3 species. So that kind of contradiction, that kind of similar results can be found, but also can be added up. For example, a previous work on lichens in Wangdipur area found only like around 5 species, let's say, and out of that 5 species, the species that you found in your study, the 3 more species that you found in your study has not been confirmed in that study. So what you can do is you can always add up to the existing literature. So 3 things when you're looking at literature review at finding is that you can either see that it's adding up to the literature that's already being existing. It's either contradicting, or it's same to the finding that the person has found. So you need to again find that those literatures that will basically support. Now let us look at what literature review can do to our research process. So there are 4 broad things that literature review can really do to our research process. The first one is that even if you're not clear with our research problem at the beginning of our research, doing literature review can actually clarify what exactly we need to do, what exactly are the gaps that's being left for our research to fill up, what exactly are the problems that we need to solve, where it's being done, where it's not being done. So that kind of clarity in our research problem can be given by the literature review. The second part is that when you're designing your research problem, when you're looking at or when you're thinking about what are the methods that I can carry out, I can take in order to carry out my research methodology can be improved by reading lots of literature. So lots of literature can actually suggest what kind of method is feasible or what kind of method can be best used in order for us to carry out that particular study that we want to carry out. Again, getting back to the improvise part of the literature review, even if we have some methodology already reflected in our research process or proposal process, reading lots of literature review can actually improve the methods. We can actually rectify wherever our problem is. And the third one is the base. So reading lots of literature or reviewing lots of literature is actually known to make you an expert in that research area. So let's get back to lichen. You want to do a research on lichen diversity and distribution, and you are reading lots and lots about lichen, and after few days or after few months of reading lots of literature on lichens, you're actually becoming expert. You're actually broadening your knowledge in lichens, and you're actually becoming an expert from there itself. The fourth one is that now after finishing up with our study, finishing up with our data collection, then writing results, what literature review can do is whether our finding is similar to the findings of other people, whether our finding is contradicting with the findings of other people, or whether are we adding a new finding to the finding that's already being there. So three things that literature review contextualizes our findings. So whether it's contradicting, whether it's quite similar to other studies, or whether it's an addition to the other findings.